Hello, welcome to Fearful Symmetry, a D&D campaign. There we go. I'm your DM, Aaron M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels Saga and Empire of Exiles. First things first, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, which includes my characters Frida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels Saga. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Epic, Xbox One, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, you will see a code for an Electrum chest that you can have, courtesy of our wonderful sponsors. You can also type ! Code into the chat to get a version you can copy and paste into your game. So hopefully that helps. We hope you stick around and watch the show. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should check them out at idlechampions.com.
Hey, I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy as Rhiannon Held and space opera as RZ Held. And I have two dice partners to tell you about. Norse Foundry makes metal dice. When you roll them, it feels like you are skillfully smashing the rigid armor of the monster horde. You can find their dice and accessories at norsefoundry.com. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes, because they use all recycled materials for the dice. You can find their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Yang Yang Wang, and I play Stong Makuk, the barrel-chested, barrel-wearing, very hairy heir of the Murder Bear tribe.
I'm Stephen Merlino. I write fantasy, and I am currently writing a D&D campaign that I'm excited to share with you in January. I play Krabanglir, who is most commonly known as Sturge, rogue and diviner arcane trickster.
Hey, I'm Trevor Bettis, and I'm learning things about Sturge even when we're not in game. I'm the writer for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and I am playing Florin Morn, who is 100% a warlock.
One of my favorite surprising elements of this campaign, because as you guys probably know, this is a sort of spin-off from our original campaign, Westgate Irregulars, which Trevor was not a part of, but these other three were. So there is a lot of fascinating details about our friend Sturge, and watching Florin and Trevor discover all of them is
All the
just
glorious.
It's been a treat. It's been
hilarious.
It
All right, now you know what we all experienced.
was a little rough going in the beginning. Everyone thought he was just a perv, but it turned out he had no sexual drive whatsoever, and was just being honest with everyone.
It's a little confusing sometimes when your stealth is so high, you just randomly sort of seem to appear. Well, all right. So where we last left off, you guys returned from Agloron with Artemisia's key. You passed this off to Ilya, who went and put it into the promised vault. But before that, you were chased by some wizards who were mad about how exactly you got that key, which was essentially starting a food fight in a fancy party and making them look like fools. They were driven off by Florin's brilliant intervention, during which he also got the required information that Kochen, a fellow harper in the real world, had asked for in order to get information about his shadow. You guys then went searching for a cure for the strange curse affecting Florin and Sturge. Florin and Artemisia sought out the cult of the Occluded One and worked their way up through the ranks in the expected way, eventually giving up a precious magic item in order to secure the audience of the Pontiff of Westgate, who cast a greater restoration. Let's be clear. You had to go for the big guns to get rid of it, but the curse was ended. And you also found out from him that the origin was demonic. Sturge and Stong went instead to the House of Delight, a Sunite temple / fest hall, where the High Priestess Galoidra charged a very different but no less dear fee by asking Sturge who he loved and giving him a little bit of surprise wisdom, perhaps. Okay, so you guys are assuming you're heading back to the tower. Would you like to get a good night's sleep before you unpack any of this?
Yes,
or do you
please.
think you can't wait? Okay. So you tuck into the double bunk bed guest room that Ilya offered you previously. And you wake up as you wake up. How do you guys wake up? Who's up first? What's up?
Sturge wakes up in a performative manner. He first he wakes up, and then he's an early riser, and then he lies there until he's sure someone else is awake, and then he rigidly rises from the waist into a sitting position and turns his head slowly
Are the arms crossed and everything?
Yeah.
And he turns his head slowly to face that person.
It's probably Florin. Or would you just hear, "Hi,
Well, they're so
Sturge.
weird.
Good morning."
Your boots are still there, though.
Oh, good.
You didn't take them this time.
Ooh. Does Mia sleep as a dog?
Well, because so that we can all stay in one room.
Oh yeah.
So she can just sleep kind of on a blanket on the floor kind of thing.
Not
So
on the
she
There are
Not on
two
someone's
sets of
feet.
bunk beds, but
Oh.
if this is what makes Artemisia more comfortable, I don't think there's any problem with that. Just to be clear, or the dog could sleep on a bed. Someone just
Actually,
has to get on the top bed.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's say that this time rather than on the floor, she's just on the bed. She's doing the full like dog.
Do wolves do that?
Oh, I'm sure.
This
Oh
one
my
does.
god.
I was gonna say,
I'm curious about that because wow, it's such a gesture of trust and relaxation, to be that exposed. You must really trust whoever you're hanging out with.
Dong, are you gonna continue to sleep in?
Yeah,
you
I think
guys-
Stong almost like was killed like the following day. So he's just like, yeah, he's sleeping in extra long, snoring extra deep.
You were beat within the inch of your life by the children of the mirror, and
And he's
and
gonna
then
sleep
they
it off.
dragged you out to a sex club. So, admittedly, a tame sex club. You've been to wilder sex clubs in Westgate, but
Mm.
you guys didn't go in the back rooms. So, well, to my knowledge. But anyway, you hear the noises downstairs of someone moving around, and yeah. So, what do you guys want to do?
Well,
But I'm
Artemisia
just-
has to disappear for a while, like because she's got to get cleaned up. She's got to do her hair. She's got to like do Presta cleaning on her clothes. So you won't see her for a while.
I think if Sturge leaves the room at any point, Florin is going to try and talk to Stong when after he wakes up.
You could just
Yes.
wake him up.
Sturge just goes
I-
down to get coffee.
Okay, yeah. So he's just like, Stong, I need to talk to you.
Oh. Yes.
Well, I just realized, and waking you up with this kind of information is weird. Can we talk real quick? I have a problem and I don't know what to do, and I don't really want anyone else to hear about it.
Oh. Stong flips over from his back like to his front, and he puts his hand like his hands.
Holds up an empty teacup. I'm ready.
Yeah, and his feet like come up in the back and start kicking back and forth. Tell me about it.
So, God, I don't even know where to start with this. So Artemisia accidentally sent a bunch of very personal letters to my boss, kind of about my boss, sort of in a way to my boss, but not really to my boss. It's a little complicated. But I told her I didn't read them, and I did. And they were like very personal.
So the problem is that you want to try to confess what you did, and you think that she'll be mad?
Well, I mean, yeah, I do think that. And like I do kind of like her, so like there's a lot of lot of things going on, brain not great.
Florin, buddy.
Yeah.
You tell me you're a super spy, right?
Sure. For this conversation, sure.
Well, I mean, for somebody whose living is to fess out other people's secrets and read other people, I feel like you maybe aren't reading Artemisia as well as you should be. You know how she feels about you, right?
What? No. What?
How many relationships have you had in your life that were of the romantic variety?
Not a lot.
Is not a lot less than 2? Or is
No.
it?
It's been a while, okay?
All right. So I'm just going to lay it out for you straight. I think Artemisia really, 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 really likes you.
Oh. I mean that's good.
Until she finds out the truth of your life.
Yeah, I mean there's that. There's like that because like I pretty much have been lying to her since the first time I met you all. But I'm also now concerned because I've lied about that again here.
Can I make a quick point of order? Sturge, was that Steven adding commentary, or did Sturge return with the coffee? Okay, just checking. Just
just
checking.
return anytime that you want. Jump in whenever.
He says, yeah, I've lied about that here, and I'm worried that may I don't know what lying does here. This whole place is made of lies, and I've lied in the lie. Is that they're gonna I don't know.
I mean, normally a lie's no way to begin a relationship.
Yeah.
But I think that the only way to make it right is to fess up to it sooner rather than later. Because the longer you hold out and the more she likes you, then the greater the risk, right? The greater the sense of betrayal.
Yeah. Okay,
and I mean, did you have a good reason to do what you did?
No, because I'm stupid.
Florin. Okay. Let's practice. Pretend I'm Artemisia. And pretend you're going to confess this, lie to me. And I'll, react as if she would, and maybe it'll help you.
Okay. Artemisia, he just looks at Stong.
Yes. Stong's eye line goes down, traces down Florin's body to his abs. I'm listening.
Stop. I was not truthful before. I did read those letters, and I'm very sorry for lying about that. Is that
you did
good?
What?
I read the letters that you accidentally sent Viscaris that I said that I didn't read.
Well, okay. I forgive you because I like you very, 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 very much. Everything's okay between us. Is there anything else?
What? I think I'm gonna think about this I think I'm probably gonna be thinking about this conversation for a very long time. But I'm gonna simmer on this for a little. You give me a lot to think about. Thanks, Song.
Okay. Now, because it's you're not very experienced in relationships, is there anything else you want to talk about?
It's not. It's just it.
Do I need to teach you how to use prestidigitation?
Okay. I'm gonna go get coffee. I'm out. He's just gonna walk away.
Okay. Sturge, you headed downstairs and discovered the sounds of someone moving was actually Forrest moving around the shop floor with a broom. When you come down the stairs, the steel defender looks up at you and hits his chest, and you hear Ilya's voice say, "Welcome to Dolaskaya's Magical Repairs and Accoutrements. We are not open yet." You're muted.
Still
You-
muted.
Stop.
Oh no,
Do
you're
No,
good
you're
now.
good.
Do you make coffee? Please make coffee. Thank you.
He points towards the kitchen and
Oh,
gives you another thumbs up.
I make coffee. Thank you. And he goes and makes coffee.
Well, you go into the kitchen and you're greeted by this scent of already brewed coffee and realize that Ferris was telling you, "I already got you."
Oh, I turn around and I just give him a thumbs up back. All right. Go get some
Continue sleeping.
very, very dark, very strong coffee. You know, if it's still brewing and it hasn't finished brewing, and you stick your mug in there and take the strong part before it's done with the weak, that's what Sturge is going to do for
This
sure.
is definitely very strong coffee.
Yeah, he needs a big wake me up today. So he's gonna. Is there like a patio, outdoor space where he can sit and look at the clouds? And
Yeah, so if
Yeah.
you go out the front door, there's the garden that you remember when you first came in, which, unlike the garden of this tower in your world, which is sort of magical and full of elaborate
Oh,
topiary, seems to
that's
be
right.
a very mildly overgrown kitchen garden. But
Perfect.
so long as you don't go wading through and possibly encountering rats, it's still very pretty. And yeah, you can look up at the sky.
Yeah, he's gonna find a kind of grassy, overgrown spot that's sort of soft, and just kind of squat down with his legs akimbo and drink and look at the clouds, looking for messages up there.
Are you thinking about anything in particular?
He's questioning whether he's going through a list of people in his mind and wondering, did I love that person? And just kind of going back as far as he can remember and tallying up the times when he's trusted enough that he might call that love, and just kind of doing an accounting of his emotional life. Not that it matters,
Of course not.
but just curious.
It's for people who don't have higher callings.
Exactly. But
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But he is also curious about just how human he is. And, it's kind of like Spock. What if Spock had, needed to like look back and just kind of think about, how emotional he's been over his life.
Yeah. Do you think about your fellow Westgate Irregulars when you think through this? Or do you avoid thinking about them?
Oh yes, he does. And he's sort of like, how if you're in a conversation and someone surprises you with something and you're not thinking fast, and then they leave, and then you're like, oh, I wish I'd said this. I mean, he's wondering, well, what if I had just said, well, my friends, I love my friends. What would the lady have said then?
Interesting.
Yeah, and now he's like chewing on that. He's like, well, because, yeah, I mean, I love my friends, right?
Esprit de escalier. I can't do the French pronunciation, but spirit of the staircase. When you're on the staircase going out, it's what you'd think of that you would have thought of. But it sounds great in French.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Literally,
wonderful.
that's what that means.
That is a wonderful term. I love it.
So while you're sitting here looking up at the clouds, I would love you to make me a perception check.
Okay. No longer at disadvantage.
No longer at disadvantage.
This is gonna be good. Okay, I have to make sure it's like showing me. There we go. 20.
Okay. So you're staring up at the clouds.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful day. Blue sky. There's a few clouds, but it's very bright. Sun's not way overhead yet. It's still fairly early, so it's not like you're having to avoid staring at the sun. But already you know it's going to be a gorgeous day. But there's a moment when you're staring and you blink, and you're struck by the vision of dark veins tracing the surface of the sky. It's there and it's gone. It's almost like an after image. It's almost like, you know, when you stare at something and then you can sort of see the back of your retina for a second. It's like that. But you weren't staring at the sun. There's just this weird moment where it looks like you were.
Does that remind me of anything I've seen in another dimension before?
No. To my knowledge, you have never encountered something like that. And it's small and it's annoying.
Small.
Like it's a quick, just a second. It's just a second that happens. It's not like, you know, you've seen a lot of weird shit in the sky. You know, rifts in reality, Githyanki, Corsairs. You know, you went to the astral sea and you saw floating dead gods and an astral dreadnought, and just, I mean, you've seen weird stuff. So in the scale of weird things you could see in the sky, admittedly, this is fairly small, but yeah, it just doesn't feel like it was right. That was weird.
Like I got a little, okay, so did I see behind the curtain for a second? Like this place is diseased. It looked like disease, right? Black veins means
like
disease.
Black veins. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. So was I able to listen to, I mean, I can I listen through the telepathic link to like what they were talking to the pontiff about and so on?
You can hear their thoughts while they were talking to the pontiff, and I believe that the goal was that you guys would debrief, which you did not have a chance to do, but you know that that's coming.
To be fair, like I think Florin at some point would be going down looking for Sturge to talk to him about that.
Okay.
Would you go outside to find Sturge?
Yeah.
Well, Florin did leave Stong, so perhaps he has come out to find you on your grassy knoll, looking at the sky with deep suspicion.
Florin, join me. There's coffee inside.
He's already got a cup.
I just saw something. I think I saw something strange. Maybe I'm just looking at the clouds. Look at the clouds with me for a while and tell me if you see anything strange. I mean,
looking like clouds. Do I see anything weird?
No.
Yeah, looks like clouds. Like, what did you see?
Ever seen the movie Hellboy? Kidding. Sorry, I totally broke everybody's thing. No.
It did give me a new kind of like horn style.
No, I'm sorry. It looked like it was just a blink. Like, literally, like during the space of a blink, it looked like there were black veins stretching across the sky, like diseased black infected veins.
You wanted to believe in visions and whatnot?
Oh, I very much like visions. Very much.
Well, this seems a good time to tell you. I had a vision last night while at the MLM cult. That was kind of weird.
Wait, MLM.
Don't worry about it. It's
Cult of the Occluded One.
Yeah, Cult of the Occluded One. Yeah, there we go.
Right.
And I remembered that you said that you're worried that your shadow is involved in this.
Yes.
Well, when the pontiff did the greater restoration on me, I saw a very clear image of you, like transposed over them.
Like they were channeling my shadow to you.
I don't know if it was a channeling. Like I know that they were using the Occluded One's power for using that. And to see you there in that moment is worrisome because now I'm worrying that your shadow just somehow became a god.
That's what I just worried as well. I can't channel power to others, followers, or anything like that. Oh my.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of feel like this does confirm that your shadow is involved in this. Whether they're a deity or not, I don't know, but I don't think that we should just kind of rush into that and try and find a key when there might be a whole god sturge behind it.
Ooh. Wonder.
Did you ever have any did you ever lie about being a god?
Well, I have beliefs about harboring a splinter of a god that is in hiding, and to hide has distributed splinters of themselves into various vessels, myself being one of them. I happen to have collected one of the other splinters in another adventure somewhere inside me.
Well, wait, if you say you had collected more of those, would that have given you like divine powers?
I think what would happen is I would cease to exist and the god would return.
Huh. This, I mean,
In essence, I want to believe that I am a reflection of that god, part of that god, but only a part, and I will be subsumed into the god once they emerge from hiding. And I suspect I can hasten that if I collect more of these shards.
well, your, I mean, your shadow may have done that, so.
Oh my god. Oh my god, you're right. I hadn't
Yeah.
thought of that. What if another fragment of the god has done more than I have to collect pieces? Oh dear. I hadn't thought of that. Thank you, Florin. That's
Oh, don't
rather-
worry. I'm just going around giving all kinds of anxiety today, so you know it's kind of on par.
Oh my god. So either I will be subsumed by this being, or I will simply. Do I wish to live longer, or do I wish to do my part as part of the god's resurrection? Well, that. Oof. I think I want to survive a little longer. I was more interested in collecting other people than being collected. I'm not quite over the little ego hump that all mortals have. Okay, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah. I feel like you're having an existential crisis right now, so I'm just gonna stand near you and drink coffee and just kind of let you have your thoughts. So.
Oh, what do I do? I hadn't even thought of that.
Does Florin
Clearly.
feel any sort of like camaraderie towards Sturge in this moment?
Oddly,
Is
yeah.
Florin watching him sort of have that existential crisis?
Yeah. That's why he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand here, you know, just as another person while you have that experience.
All right, Florin, you remember what I told you about the cat? About cats?
Unfortunately.
Well, don't be disturbed by it. If you can think of it this way, here's what it comes down to for me. Oh, I'm already at peace with it. Thank you, Sturge. You're welcome, Sturge. I need, if I meet this fellow and I admire them, it's my time. I'm the cat who knows it's time. If it's a heinous, twisted vision of what I think I should be and what my shadow ought to be, something, if it's a twisted thing, some perverted cult leader who simply wants to feed their own ego and not at all the god whose pieces they have collected, no.
So let me get this straight. You're so good with yourself that if you saw another you that you thought was cooler than you, you'd just be like, all right, that's it for me. But
No.
but if they're not cooler, you're gonna take them out? Is that what I'm getting?
Listen to this for a moment. What if the lie we tell ourselves is better than who we really are?
Well, I mean,
What if, I don't believe this is a lie, I tell myself, but if the mirror thinks that, fine, whatever. If I meet this creature and it's a better version of me, and it is, in fact, if I believe that it is, the reason it's a better version of me is because it has successfully collected more pieces of that, of halal than I have, why, who am I to stand in the way? And frankly, Florin, I already feel like that cat. I'm about ready to go disappear into the sunset. Don't ask me why.
okay.
I feel it's time. And if that's the case, I'm walking into the light of the embrace of halal. And in the end, I'm only a piece of halal anyway.
Can I do a religion check to see if Florin knows who this god is?
Absolutely.
I always forget it's in alphabetical order. Hey, I don't roll disadvantage. Oh, but
You don't.
oh, I have to reload D&D Beyond though, because it is at a snail's pace of a 5. I don't know.
No.
I've never heard of this one before.
No.
Um,
What, you got a 5, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know this. You don't even, I mean, you're you're pretty familiar. You may not speak a lot of languages, but I think you probably have a passing understanding as a harper to be able to recognize stuff. And that is a weird sounding word. It is not a common kind of language that you're familiar with.
Got it.
That's in.
Well, I don't really know anything about that. But I'll support you in whatever you want to do, Sturge.
well, I'm going to operate. Tell me, what was your impression of this? I think you called them the pontiff. Did it seem like did
Oh.
it seem good or at least true?
Good's a strong word. I don't like this. Feels weird because like I want to just be honest about it, but this might be an insult to you. I'm just gonna say it felt kind of scammy. Like a lot. Lots of talk about like. It was shocking how quickly money got me from walking in the door to talking to one of the highest ranking people in the whatever it is.
Well, thank goodness they did that. It would have been tedious if you'd had to go through training.
I mean, am I going to say that it wasn't convenient? No, but you know what? It was good for me. But yeah, probably not great.
So a scammy god, or the flawed servants of a legitimate being.
That's fair. I hadn't made the donations to hear a lot about the god. In fact, they got a little peeved when I said that I may have seen. Oh yeah, that was kind of the weird thing, is that I did describe you and they said that they started acting like I had seen their god. That's coming back to me now.
That's
so
good. That's good. Okay. Did you get any other bit of their theology? What do they believe?
Well, if there was one person that messed up and they got punished by having to go hand write a bunch of speeches that the god had made.
Okay.
Specifically, they had to write an essay about the philosophical ramifications of the mortality of domestic pets.
That one.
Wait, cats? Like cats?
Yeah, I guess that is a cat, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay. Yes, there are some parallels here in this universe.
And I do want to point out one small thing, which is that for whatever this, and I think you guys have already like established this, but I want to be clear, for whatever this feels like a charlatan and a play act, and like they are absolutely a scam, they did do an actual.
Oh yeah, that's not lost on me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can have divine power and still be a scam.
So I'm thinking flawed mortal servants of a potentially legitimate, well, clearly a legitimate, but possibly even a divine being that could be admired or admirable.
Yeah.
But then again, could be a god that I would never want to associate with. Whew,
Yeah, lots to unpack.
lots to think about there. Well, I'll know when I see it. But the key, if I do need to escape this creature,
We are going to have to get near it. Yeah.
I mean, if I were to predict, I think it's Mr. Whippy, but
I don't want to know.
Mr. Whippy is my sword cane.
Okay. That makes it slightly better. Well, I mean, that might be like a holy relic that they have somewhere that's away from them that we can go get easily. Who knows?
If he's as competent, if he matches me in my competencies, stealing from him will be difficult.
That's fair.
And
Unless he
he'll
ever
be
lied about just being a completely oblivious person that didn't really ever pay attention to anything.
Well, of course, it's a good front if you can put on that act. Oof.
Okay.
Okay. No, enough.
Inside the tower, Artemisia and Stong, what are you guys up to?
Where did Artemisia go?
Well, she went to like do her hair and get washed up and whatever, so she'll be back.
Ah, okay.
It just takes a little bit. You may know. Well, I don't know if you would notice or not. She's not wearing much in the way of makeup. Her hair is still like up intricately, but much less makeup than usual.
Do I notice, like, being her friend and seeing her many hairdos, do I know that, like, the hairdo that she uses for, like, a special occasion or anything?
I would think that you have noticed that there is a hairdo where it's like it's braided and like it stays that way because she is doing shit. And then there is the hairdo that like sort of you notice the braids a little bit more and there's a whole pattern to them. And she definitely did take the time to do that.
Artemisia. Hey,
Yeah.
your braids are looking extra nice this morning.
Thank you. I mean, well, we're going to be busy, but it's no reason you can't look nice, right?
I suppose, but you look
I mean, it's for me. It's not for other people. It's just, because I want it to look nice.
Oh, are you sure? Because if it's just for you, then that's totally fine. But if it is for somebody else, then, I can make myself scarce for a little bit of time later on today. And I can, take Sturge somewhere else as well.
Actually, you can help me. You were talking about talking to Ilya and like sort of giving him whatever information he might want, and I need him to make me something. And like I don't want to be like, hey, we showed up and like are sleeping in your house and eating your food and also make us stuff and we can't pay. But I don't have a lot of money on me. So I was sort of hoping that we could like give him information because he likes information. So then it feels not quite so uneven. So I thought maybe you could come and help me because, you were the one who noticed he'd probably like that. So
That sounds good. I like
Quick
the
question.
idea.
Where are you guys having this conversation?
In the bedroom?
yeah.
Okay.
So then
Continue.
we could go down and like try to find him.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just real quick, out of curiosity, we've been just traveling around in this world of lies for a while. Like, how do lies make you feel?
Well, I mean, it depends, doesn't it, on like the kind of lie?
Right. Okay. So there are lies that are harmless and lies that are not.
I am
Right?
curious. What is the lie that went through Artemisia's head that made her make that face?
um, well, I think her unpacked things right now are mostly about her biological mother. So there's been several times when Staha has been like, "Oh, I'm not just here to see your sister. No." So that was what went through her head.
Quite a betrayal.
Mhm.
Just saying.
Stong, is there something that you are worried about? Because like you can just say it.
I think that we were in your room and let's say your diary just happened to be your shadow self's diary just happened to be on the table, and let's say I read it. And I found
Oh.
out some things about you.
Oh.
I mean, it didn't happen, but let's just say hypothetically if it did. And I didn't tell you for a while, but I had some secret knowledge. And then later on, if I told you now, would you feel any less, or would you think of any less of me?
Did it hypothetically make you like think less of me?
Hypothetically, no. It made me think the world of you. Maybe.
Oh. Well, I mean, it's not good, but I mean, like if you weren't telling me because you were really judging me, then like I wouldn't ever want to know, I guess. I think. Right? Yeah. So but anyway, it was the shadow self. So we're not, the same. So whatever it was you read about her, don't worry about it. Like part of me is really curious, but I think that thank you for letting me know, but I think we can just like set that aside. I won't ask you about it.
Okay. And then through the mental link, Stong thinks, so sometimes you're okay with
Did you recast this since you woke up? Okay, just checking.
Yes,
This is the first thought that's gone through the mental link as far as I'm aware of, and I love that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Stong is just trying to recap some of it for Florin, just to give him enough information to just like a heads up. And then he's gonna get up and be ready to go to Ilya.
Okay. Well, if you continue downstairs, if you head down to Ferris is now kind of like putting things on the counter. And if you go into the kitchen, you will find Ilya drinking coffee like he's run a marathon, and this is his water bottle, just like glug, 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 glug. He sees you come in and he's like, oh, glug, glug, glug.
Yeah. Is a mask on him?
Yeah. He's got it kind of hanging off his belt. He is dressed. He is slightly disheveled, which does not feel wrong. And he wipes his mouth. Is like, okay, so you guys get uncursed.
Yes. Yeah, they
Did I say if it was catching? Do I need to fumigate?
No, I think you're fine.
Thank gods and all the little
You weren't around
spirits.
any like demon children recently, were you?
Not that I know of.
All right, then I think you're good.
I don't really like kids.
The woman with the veil and the breech, and then the monster kids, they said breach.
Wait, the monster kid. Hold up, back it up. What's a monster kids doing?
Can somebody else explain this?
Yeah, Florin would essentially give a quick description of what happened on their adventure.
And Artemisia's kind of like la 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 la. She doesn't want to think about them.
So you just see Florin like acting it out, and at one point he's just like,
So, okay, so the children of the shadow of Armisia, that stuck up bitch. No offense. Listen, she was real mean to me, so I get to have a grudge. So
Fair.
kids that seem like kids, they turn out to be grasshopper demons that staple you to the walls and the floor.
And
Okay, that's interesting.
impregnate you with
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
feels.
Oh, and
Yeah,
they
no.
also knew we were breaches.
And they knew you had breaches. Okay.
And the
interesting.
cleric said the thing that they thought was in their stomach. The reason they thought that was because Florin, I don't know about Sturge, Florin had been demon touched. So like
Oh,
there's something like going on here. So maybe the woman
Okay.
with a veil is also a demon?
maybe. Maybe she's I mean, people do things with demons, right? That is a
Yup.
thing that demons, which are very powerful, do sometimes that I have read about. That is cause of madness in you.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah.
It felt like that.
So it makes
Yes.
you think you're turning into mushrooms, or that you gotta murder everybody, or that you really want to have sex with demons.
Well,
Which
I've
I don't
never
know.
been
That
so
might
happy.
be some people protesting something that is already in them. I don't want to get into it. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm
so
happy to
these
have just had the
children.
Eldritch horror.
Okay, so you found an example of what should be a shadow, and is actually demons. Huh. I wonder if the world makes those to fill in the gap, or if they are put there, or if they are created by the gap. This is interesting.
Wait. Are you saying that the thought you just had is that people who don't exist in our world to cast a shadow here, those people are demons?
I don't know. Maybe. It's a good hypothesis, I think. Because it's a good point. You don't have kids in the real world, I'm assuming, based on how you kind of do this about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you don't have kids, so where did they come from? Is it someone else's children that tell a lie that this lady is their mother? That's crazy. Kids tell way crazier lies than that, though. You should see some of the kids in this world. It gets very weird. And everybody's just like, yeah, that's how children are. Sometimes they're monsters and dragons and things. However, these kids don't exist, and you are saying they are demons. And so this is a theory. When someone doesn't exist in that world, in this world, something else takes their place to create the whole lie, the whole picture.
Maybe it's two birds with one stone. Maybe they're filling in gaps and they're on the lookout for breaches.
This is
I'm-
plausible.
How common are breaches, Ilya?
Literally, you guys are the first time that I have ever encountered this term, but also you're the first people I ever met from your world. Because again, it doesn't happen a lot.
I feel like we can't possibly be the first because they felt like they weren't surprised. You know, they recognized us as breaches and it felt like they sort of knew what to do.
You may be, although I have a theory too. I'm not sure about this. You told me about your sister, and the portal opens, the lights go out, and now they come back. Your sister, the portal opens, she goes in the portal, and she fills this space with ice. So I look and I look and I look at what is this spell. And unless you have spells that we don't have, always a possibility, the thing you're talking about, it doesn't last that long. But that hole, as far as I can tell, with all these instruments, and again, maybe I don't have the right ones, the hole is not there. It is not, she has not failed holding it open or blocking it or whatever is going on. So I am wondering now, does your time work the same way as our time? Because that is a problem, plane to plane. I have read that many times. So it could be that there are breaches, but because your plane, the time is very different, they're not very frequent. I only know the one story for sure, that feels for sure. I have enough people repeating it.
Yeah, I actually just went back through my notes to find that thing that Ilya told us about, the stories of of times long ago that this happened.
Yeah, Casey's the Vice Lord,
Yeah.
who maybe got murdered and something put his shadow put his skin on.
Yeah.
Although
yeah.
you guys have not had any problems with your shadow trying to wear your skin, so that feels
Well,
promising.
I mean,
We've been hiding from them. Like, I didn't let her
Yeah.
see me. I was
That's
disguised.
fair.
So,
And
I
she
mean-
doesn't seem to know she's a shadow.
Oh yeah, no, nobody knows. Nobody realizes this. Worried about their day-to-day problems, like, oh, do I have to go for groceries? Oh, does my outfit look good? They don't think about the bigger picture. People who think about the bigger picture, they're called crazy and weirdos, and it's very rude.
have you been
Unfortunately.
called these things?
I mean, by assholes.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, most people don't, as far as I know, most people don't think this is a thing. But I feel like your presence suggests it is very much a thing. I am
Yeah.
right.
Ilya, I feel like if there's not very much mention of this lady with the veil or any of these like demon children monsters, I mean, maybe, just maybe, they have gotten all the other breaches and nobody actually made it out to report this stuff.
Oh.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's a very plausible explanation for things. Very simple and clean. I like it. I like it. I mean, I don't. It's not good for you guys, but
But does
for
that,
my studies, very
does-
suggestive.
does that also mean that some of the dead spirits of people, breaches from long ago, may actually exist somewhere in this world?
Or like a ghost?
Perhaps, yes.
I don't know. Maybe.
Stong, are you proposing we do a ghost investigation somewhere? Because like I'm down for Trevor's down for that. Florin might not be, but I'm down for that.
I mean, I think it sounds super fun, like out of character. But like Stong realizes, it makes him realize how much he misses like having Kalith around suddenly.
it's true. Yeah, who
Also,
would
if
do it
I
if not
remember
Caleb?
correctly, in Rashomon, Stong is very scared of ghosts. Maybe that was situational.
No, he's scared
Um,
of ghosts for sure.
Okay, so if you're going to do this, you'd have to track down a place where a breach was reported, but it won't be called a breach because people don't think there is another world beyond the veil, beyond the membrane. They think it is something, maybe, I don't know. How would we find this? What would be that thing that we are looking for people to say or suggest? Well, anyway, if you find a place where maybe someone remembers someone coming through and then the person here would definitely die at that point. And then you'd have to do some kind of raising of the dead. And yeah, you don't have your necromancer anymore. So you'd have to also find a necromancer. I don't know. It might have legs. It also might be very tricky and you should just get your keys and get out of here.
Yeah.
But
I'm
True.
voting for Keith
Yeah, it's probably the better route to do.
and like doing it really quickly so that like more grasshopper demons are like not coming after us yet. I hope.
Yeah.
okay, so the grasshopper demons, though, they did not bring the veiled lady thing.
No.
They did not possess
least.
somebody, as far as you know. So, okay, so what is different between these two? With Caliph, you had Caliph escaped. You also had before that, a god from your world reached through immediately. And there was also you being there and grabbing a key. So you are here, you're grabbing a key, although you are not the one that touched your key. That's sort of the same, but maybe not completely. You didn't go through, and you know gods reached through. So the demon thingies could tell you were maybe not supposed to be here, definitely not supposed to be here. But they did not call the pale veil schmooky booky lady thing into somebody.
True.
So maybe there is a difference in what causes what. But it does sound like, one, you should not be babysitting anybody, just in case. And also, two, if you start to think that you are pregnant with wolfiel cat things, you should get out of there because there are grasshopper demons. Those are my theories.
Okay, question. Does Sturge know about the occluded one cult and the idea that only the occluded one can what was it? Something stop the
Stop the
Oh
world
yeah,
from
like
ending.
I would
Yeah.
have filled in Sturge
Okay.
during the time.
All right. So what does their vision, let's assume for a minute that there is some impending doom coming. How does that fit in with the white lady? Is she the impending doom, or is she the caretaker of the whole universe?
I mean, this is the weird situation that I feel like we are not supposed to be in this world. There's a possibility that that pale lady made this world if she's the one that is the mother to these grasshopper demons. I mean, we might be endangering this world. That's something that I've been worried about from the get-go.
She should just send us home then.
Are we the doom that was predicted?
I was
I
actually
don't know.
thinking that we kind of are, because like as we go through and we deal with our like shadow situations, shadow selves, we're like realizing and sometimes like undoing the lies that we're living, right?
Yeah.
I had a vision today of black veins creeping across the sky.
Did you look at the sun? The thing happens when you look at the sun sometimes.
No, thank you, Ilya.
I cannot
No.
stress enough how much Ilya is like my favorite NPC. Well, I mean, now I'm worried that that wasn't just a vision, that like you saw something.
So, and are we causing that?
I mean, we've only been here for what, 3 days? Has it been 3 days or
Okay,
something like that?
listen.
Oh no, it's been longer because of the boat trip.
Okay, so if we're causing this, then we should stop causing it. And we stop causing it by going home.
Yeah,
Well,
true.
I'm good with going
Okay.
home.
I gotta say something, you guys. I'm open to a lot of theories that are outside the mainstream, let's say. The idea that you four are going to absolutely destroy the world seems a little egotistical. I'm
mean,
just saying.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying we don't know anything about this world and what effects we're having on it. And Surge saw death veins in the sky, so you know. I'm just
kind
saying.
of side-eye
and-
Sturge
and-
for a minute, like, okay.
Well, I mean, our friend Sturge here is has prophetic powers, so I wouldn't just
It's-
discount what he sees.
It's true. I have a bit of divination, but I'd prefer not to believe that we are destroying this place. In that case, consider what good we might do here. What if there is something threatening this place? The occluded one knows of it and professes to be the only one who can stop it. Well, if it's not us,
I don't think the occluded one said they were going to stop it.
Oh.
Just that it's coming.
Hold up. Did you all convert to the weirdo market cult?
Listen, I had to do some things I'm not proud of in order to get a greater restoration. Could you cast greater restoration?
Of course not. Do I look like
Yeah,
a
see,
crazy little
it
priest?
wasn't gonna help. So yeah, I had to do some things that I'm not proud of.
Huh,
But
okay.
but the thing is though, if we're gonna get out of here, I'm waiting on information about my shadow from Cochin. There's a very good chance that the occluded one is Sturge's shadow. Stong, have we figured out anything for yours?
Yeah, well, we had some leads to go on. You know, there was that area near Lork, and there were reports of
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's right. The music.
music.
Yeah, your shadow maybe knows my terrible father. Hey, don't worry, he's very dead.
I remind myself of that every so often.
Okay, well then, if the plan is to just get out of here as quickly as possible, what should we do today?
Well, you need to get the information from Cochin, right?
Yeah,
Is she going to come to you?
I actually don't know, because we kind of like montaged over that. Is she
Mhm.
bringing the information, or am I going to go get it?
You don't know, actually. That part wasn't covered.
Yeah, that tracks.
yeah,
Um,
damn mysteriousness.
I will have information at some point in the near future. Somehow.
And I needed to talk to Ilya.
Yeah, me too.
So
Oh. Okay. Well, okay, come on. I have to do some tinkering anyway. Yeah. Is this about your friend maybe losing his mind?
Oh, I don't think so. But
Insane in the sky.
Stong is gonna like pick up whatever the equivalent is of tissues, like from around the kitchen. If
Mhm.
there's like paper towels or something,
Just rags. Yeah.
just some rags. Oh, well, we're gonna have a little talk, and maybe we'll need these.
Okay. Sturge, you want to go to the market and just check out that cult?
Check out your cult.
I'll go to the market with you. Yes, let's go to the market.
Okay. You can do some thinking on the way.
Yes, there we go.
All right. So okay, so you guys leave to go to the market. Ilya goes to his workbench, where there are a variety of weird objects. And he sort of sits down, he puts on like kind of a pair of magnifying glasses and sort of starts laying these very tiny gears together. Who wants to talk to Ilya first? Or are you gonna tag team this?
Tag team.
But yeah. So Artemisia, I think, is going to start. So she sort of like, you can see her like gather herself. And so Ilya, Stom was thinking that, maybe you'd want to know more about, my sister and what she's like, and
Why
I'm
would I
happy
want
to.
that?
Well, I wanted to know more about my shadow. So, and like about her mask and all that. And then also I had a job for you.
Okay, what's the job?
So I need a quill, and it needs to be magical. And so okay.
Like a one that writes by itself, or like a one that is
no, it's
a
invisible.
thing where they both write. When you write with one, it writes with the other, or it's a what?
The ink is invisible until there's a command word.
Oh, an emerald quill.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do this.
Okay.
200 gold pieces, and I need a feather from a periton, a quaddle, or an ASMR, or greater thing. Like if you can get an angel, that will give you a feather. Or I can probably source that, but it goes up to 350 because those things are not cheap.
Oh, it's okay. Artemisia, I got it. What kind of feather do you want?
Oh,
So you know what? We want Pegasus if you have a Pegasus.
Oh, there you go. Well,
I mean, you could choose from any of those feathers.
There you go.
Which one would you want?
Truth time. Which one do you actually want?
Well, Pegasus seems easy, right? If we can get it from Peggy.
What? No, it's easy. What do you want?
Yeah, what do you want?
Do you know what all of those are? Is the first question.
ASMR, I think
you just muted?
Your sound.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
I my headphones broke because that would be par for the course. Okay. Yeah, like an ASMR is sort of a kind of like a tiefling, but from angels. Would also work with like angels and things. A periton is a creature that it's got antlers, it's got wings, and it is vicious. And I actually forget all of its horrible properties. They're terrible monsters. A quaddle is a beautiful rainbow serpent with beautiful wings.
We should do that instead of ASMR, because like the whole tiefling ASMR thing seems like crass.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
They make a lot of money selling those things. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I think Stong like begins casting his spell. True polymorphs himself into a quaddle, and it's got like a big black feathered mane. But he like leans over to you and just allows you to pick any feather of your choice.
Oh my god! Okay, wait. I'm just saying. If I gotta have like 5 of those, they don't have to charge you.
No.
Is that okay, Stong?
Stong like nods, and then
gives you the quaddle nod.
Yeah, gives you the quaddle nod, and then he turns his body to show off like the different colored feathers in different areas of his body.
Get a good iridescent ones. The rich people go crazy for iridescents. I don't even get it. Just
Love it.
point, 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 point. He lays them out very neatly on his workbench. He's like, okay, cool, we have a deal.
Stonk
Yeah,
goes
it's
back to
gonna
normal.
take it takes like 2 weeks to do this. It's got a lot of steps, but then I can have it. I might be able to speed it up a little bit for one more feather.
Ston?
I mean, yeah, I guess before he transforms back, he allows him to take another feather.
The
Okay,
naked quaddle.
that is
Yeah,
a good trick. I
he-
never thought of that.
Then he like
Mm.
looks at the balding spot where you just plucked all those feathers. And he sort of like sigh, like you see his like shoulders sag a little bit, and he turns back to
Oh, no.
normal. And then he examines the spot, in his body. There, you just plucked out those hairs.
Good
But
little ball.
no, I think it actually is okay. Like I think it's
Okay.
normal.
Do you feel the like ghost of the feathers? Like, like when you have a splinter and you pull the splinter out and it feels really good, but you can still feel the splinter in it, kind of. Do you have that sort of feeling with the feathers, or is it like all the way back to normal because the polymorphs were now?
I think it would technically be all the way back to normal, but Stong still
Okay.
has the sensation of it in his mind, and is
Okay.
like, yeah, it's like pulling out like a 2-inch ingrown hair or something.
Well, when he's done looking, Artemisia's going to give him a quick hug.
Oh, anytime. You just tell me the creature and what you want, and it can be yours.
So
Is
now,
that it?
Ilya, did you have any questions or anything for us?
What would I have questions? I mean, I already asked and there was no answer about why this is the key. So,
Well, I mean, I can tell you why it's important to my sister.
And we can tell you about her sister too.
Because
Don't you want to know?
Well, I'll
I mean,
start. And then
all
you can...
data is important. Make me an insight check.
Okay.
14.
27.
Yeah, you don't even
Nice.
need that much, but Artemisia, you're like, see, I already know you in a different form. You're full of crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely posturing a lot.
So, well, it depends if other people want to like skip over this and jump to the other timeline or the other scene, but
No, keep going.
okay. Well, so and part of this is because we went to where Cecilia grew up with the Remiani, and
Oh, you've been to Running Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and she was betrayed by her father, and she had to run away, and I think stealing her father's mask, and then like really it was her mask. We didn't find out that it used to be her father's mask for a while. Was like about being a witch on her own terms. Even though like because she's trying to be Vermiani, but she wasn't, and she never like trained with witches, and then she was at Durthan for a while. Which I still don't understand quite the like importance of that, but it was really important to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's a new bit of information. She was a Durthan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not great.
And do you know
Okay.
Huani Rechu?
Huani. What? No. Is that a
No.
word? Is that a name?
That's her patron. Was her patron. Is her patron?
Do I know that she's a warlock and I forgot because I slept really bad last night?
Well, I
don't
guess,
feel like you told me this part.
I mean, we haven't had
she
a
didn't-
chance to tell you anything about her yet.
she didn't really like people knowing that for a while.
So she lied about being a warlock? Is what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay, but this is the bigger lie.
Yeah. But like it's kind of like I guess parceled together kind of. And so and then like when I got to know her, she came and sought me out and like she stayed at my father and stepmother's house for a while, but that didn't really work out. So then we went traveling together.
So she came to find you and you said, stay here with me. And then you
Yeah.
went with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice that she has you. Because
Yeah.
my version of you told me to get lost. Don't ever come back here.
Well, I mean, our version of our mother was like really, really awful. So you're better off without her at all. So that's good.
Your mom's so shit. It's good to know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kind of. He's like, I don't think you. I mean, you understand in a way. You've seen your shadow. He says things about you.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a strange thing to hear about someone who is, in effect, controlling your whole life with their situations.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you like her?
I mean, I love her. Sometimes I like worry that she'll like wake up and decide that we're too much trouble, but she hasn't yet. So like I think that less as time goes on.
Well, that's good. It's good. It's not nice being alone. It's good in that you don't have to worry about people who are selfish or terrible or don't understand you.
True. I brother Igor here. Were you close to him?
Yeah, he was a good man.
Is he still around?
I don't know. I left Running Rocks, remember? And I can't go back.
Oh, you
I
can't.
assume if my shadow is a woman, that's true there too. But yeah, you don't just leave Running Rocks. So I mean, I probably is extra true for her, right?
I think
Is it
you
different?
brother Igor wanted to see her. Right, Song? I mean, that's what I got out of it.
Yeah. You see Stong like off to the side. He's just been like quietly listening this whole time. He's using like the rags on his own eyes, where he's getting like a little
Aw.
bleary eyed.
Well, that's good to know. I don't know that it's something I can use here, but maybe I don't have to worry about that. Because if all this works, I'm gonna be famous, I think.
Oh, there you go. Was there anything else, Song,
wonder.
that
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to ask you and I wanted to tell you about your other self. And I wanted to tell you that Cecilia is one of my bestest friends. And she was one of the first people to really see what I was doing with my music and believe in me and help me bring it to the masses. But whenever I think about what it is that I do for her in return, you see, I didn't realize till later that she was always running. She had been running like all her life. And not just physically, like from people that were pursuing her from running rocks, but also from her own sense of her own sense of uh like vulnerability. Like I got the sense that she never found a place that she really felt like she could stay in. And so that mask that you hold in her hand, it's a physical mask but she had layers and layers and layers of other metaphorical masks that she had built up around her in order to shield herself and hide her true self from even us, the people that had been around her the longest. And so I can't but help but notice that you're here in this workshop, and it seems like you've been here for a long time. But you also seem to be alone.
Hey, Ferris.
You built Ferris.
Well, yeah. They don't just find steel defenders.
I guess what I want to impress upon you is that your other self eventually did come to feel safe enough around the rest of us to start showing us who she really was. And we accepted her. And I think that if you ever want to do the same, there's a whole world outside of your workshop, Ilya. There's a whole lot of friends that you don't have to build.
Skeptical face.
Yeah.
Ilya's like, thank you. There's a lot to think about. Starting with the fact that my shadow is apparently a woman who can't stop lying and is very difficult to be friends with. But I don't know, maybe she can make friends, maybe I can make friends. Except everybody here is terrible, I'm just saying.
I mean, she's really good with real estate and business.
Yeah, okay, well. Okay, well, I have to work on your quill anyway, so you guys should go, I don't know, get ready for your next exploration. But thank you. That's a lot of very good data. And I think that's a wonderful place for us to take a break. So queue us up for 10 minutes. And we'll be right back for more wonderful revelations.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day. On the slow coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey. Heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get your wall out there. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
Welcome back. We are middle of our episode 9. We've had a lot of heart-to-hearts, a lot of little revelations. And now we are going to follow Sturge and Florin, who have headed into the market, perhaps to explore the cult of the occluded one. And Florin, I don't know what you're thinking insofar as Kochen, but that is also a possible stop in your string of errands.
I was definitely planning on that. But yeah, I think with Sturge, I think Flora would be like, okay, what do you think about this? This may not be the best time, but I'm thinking that maybe someone from the higher ups seeing you could be interesting to find out more information.
You're muted.
Oh, you...
Dog started barking. Sorry, but I kind of want to remain anonymous for a little while. That doesn't sound very exciting, does it? But
Well, I mean, it's your call.
I.
Would you would you want to get more information about now? If not, I've got a stop we can make.
Yes, let's go see if they react. But they didn't before. That, of course, we
Well,
didn't see
that's
the
because
higher
those,
ups.
yeah, those people out there are looking to move up, and they've not reached the level to know what the occluded one looks like yet.
So let's just walk through this for a second. What if we went to see your occluded friend, your pontiff even, and he grovels before me?
I mean, I'm sure you would enjoy that.
I don't know. But if he did, what could I get from him?
That's a good.
I know. I could say things like, I've come to test you.
Yeah.
What was the last thing I told you? And the others. And see what if I could just like, very good, well done, you're correct. That is what I told you last. What are the objectives of the church?
I do think that is a possibility of something we could do. I will say the big hiccup in this plan is if we do this and we get information, but there's also a good chance that the occluded one then knows that something is up. Someone is around looking like them.
I think I'd prefer to keep the element of surprise at this point, but
Florin.
Mm-hmm.
So I will point out one thing you did hear the pontiff say, which is when Artemisia sort of confronted him with whether he really knew what the occluded one looked like or not, he kind of danced around it and sort of implied like he's a level away from personally meeting the occluded one, but he knows people who have met the So there is a possibility he did react to the description, which means that you might still get some kind of reaction if you decide to go through with this plan. But also he is not amongst the inner circle of the occluded one.
Okay.
So you know, you're familiar with occasionally dicey missions. It's possible, but that is a piece of data you should make sure.
Yeah. As soon as I remember that, I will convey that to Sturge.
Well, I was under the impression that pontiff was about as high as you could get.
Apparently, well, there's high pontiffs. There's high pontiffs in this church too.
See,
levels upon levels.
I mean, much.
There's Pontifex Maximus. There's actually a whole council of Pontifices Maximus.
There's a lot of mischief that I could cause, but I'm not sure that gratifying my desire to cause mischief outweighs my desire to remain secret at this point. I will think on that, but I appreciate it.
Okay, tell you what, let's go over to the bookshop, see if Cochin's got some info for me.
Yes, I like that idea.
All right, then we will start making our way over towards the bookshop.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else she could get us if we wanted it?
I mean, she's going to want something in return.
Okay. Very well. I have no real idea what I would want, but I'll keep that in mind.
Well, she would probably want information.
Right, but I mean, what would I want even to ask of her?
Well, I got an idea. We'll see how it goes.
All right. I'll play along.
Okay. So you make your way to the bookshop, which Sturge, once again, you remember in the real Westgate as being the site of offense. You go in, the young Aarakocra girl that you remember from before, the one you passed the message to, is sitting at the desk, and she looks up, and she sort of her her forehead feathers rise. She says, "Can I help you?"
I was hoping to talk to your boss.
Well, If I remember right, she looks down, turns page. You already know the way.
Hmm.
Okay, then, and I will just walk past her. And I'll open the little secret passageway.
You go find the book, The Spider's Web.
Mm-hmm.
Make your way up. The guard is sitting there. That was last time. You did come in last time that you were to this person looking like Jessica,
Mhm.
which was your name for Cecilia with your voice. However, it seems that Kochen has made her subordinates aware of this particular little trick. And she kind of looks you up and down. She's like, is the spider expecting you?
Yes and no.
Wait here. She goes inside for a minute. You're alone in the little passageway. And if you are simply going to wait quietly a moment later, she opens back up. She's like, she has a minute, and she definitely wants to talk to you.
Okay.
She opens the door and lets you into Kochen's secret office. And here above the bookstore again, there is this sort of room that seems to be meant to be a gathering place for thieves, with sort of little hallways coming off of it. There's the room you talked to Kochen before. She comes out of one of those back rooms. She snaps at you. She points at that room, with the plush furniture, and goes right in with the expectation clearly that you're going to follow her.
Yeah, and I do.
Sturge, you going with?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go in. She closes the door, and she's like, "Well, I have good news and I have bad news for you."
Honestly, that's exactly what I was expecting. So, whatever order you want to do that in.
Well, the good news is I've got your answer. I'll admit it. I started looking before you gave me the little help with good Lord Gellibraze, because I was very curious. But I went down several paths, and your trail ends.
Like,
You're not gonna like where it ends, I don't think.
Hmm.
yeah, that seems to be par for the course for this place. So,
Do you want a drink?
yes.
No.
Probably smart. She goes to the counter. She pours 2 glasses of something brown, hands you one Florin. She cheers you. She takes a sip.
I do want to do a quick insight check to make make sure there's nothing going on with this drink or her when she's handing it to me.
All right.
I got to
We'll
roll
do
physical things.
perception too, just in case.
Sure.
Just do a double check.
I'll do that too, just
Ooh.
for fun.
26.
Ooh, same.
Yeah, you watch carefully. She doesn't seem to be doing anything to the glass. And she does seem to be genuinely offering you whiskey. However, she respects Sturge, your caution.
Okay. I'll drink it.
Who are you in the other world? Just
Me?
curious. Yeah. You have a lot of enemies?
Are we enemies? Is that what she asked?
No, she says, do you have a lot of enemies?
Oh, I mean, yeah. He's gonna like kind of weigh in his head about this, but he goes, I know you in the real world.
Right.
And we are both Harpers.
What's a Harper?
Hmm.
They don't exist here. Of course they wouldn't exist here. They're always lying about themselves. In our world, Harpers are a faction of the Sword Coast that are kind of spies and people who are getting information to hopefully help people. You would
Bunch of
see
goody
them.
two-shoes?
You would see them as goody two shoes.
Well, either they're very good spies or they're not a thing. And that's what I do. That's very interesting. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of powerful friends?
Yeah.
Anybody I might know?
I don't know
Should I
about
have cut
knowing
a
them
drink?
here. You didn't know me.
That's the thing. You seem very. Well, this is probably a compliment in your line of work. You seem very ordinary, Florin Morn.
I seem more ordinary here, or like me or the shadow. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with
Oh
which
no,
me.
I mean you. You. Look, I shouldn't beat around the bush too long. It's going to make you nervous, I think. I followed your trail. I followed it from as many points as I could track down in the last few days. And if you want to find your shadow, you're going to have to go through someone.
Who?
Do you have the Xanathar in your world?
What
Yeah.
does the Xanathar think he is?
Oh, the
What's his lie?
Xanathar here is going to be terrifying.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you the truth. He's not someone you mess around with. But that's where it goes cold. I don't think you can find Florin Morn without going to the Xanathar.
Is the Xanathar in Waterdeep here?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Skullport?
I love Waterdeep.
Great.
Oh,
That
this
is gonna be okay. Well, thank you. I did want to ask you something that isn't about me.
Okay.
What do you know about the occluded one here in Westgate?
The weirdo cult in the market?
Yeah, those ones.
Well, that seems fairly harmless information, so I'll let you have it for free. Especially because, as far as I can tell, you might be going off to kill the Xanathar, which would be very convenient for the rest of us.
Xanathar.
Or you're going to get killed by the Xanathar, in which case consider this a going-away present.
Are those the only two options? Sorry to interrupt.
As far as I can tell, yes.
People don't just go talk with Xanathar.
No.
Bargain
That's
with.
Sturge, have you
wow.
ever met the Xanathar?
No.
So the Xanathar in our world has possibly the biggest ego you could encounter, and will just say things to make himself sound more imposing. So,
like the Twilight Knight, perhaps? That guy had an ego. You might not know about him, but
Oh, he's very dead. I just want to make that clear.
the Twilight Knight.
Yeah, he disappeared maybe 10 years ago.
Ah, you had one. What was he like?
I mean, enormous ego, making trouble, very flashy, big talker, but he got the results that, I suppose, his masters wanted.
He was a vampire.
Oh, of course.
Yes, okay.
We have entirely too many of those here, although, frankly, they mostly stay in the sewers. This is a
Yes.
nice town, after all.
Is there a Night King here?
You don't want to mess around with the Night King.
Oh yes. Well, in our world, we already did. It was fun. It was fun.
Well, maybe if you survive the Xanathar, you can go have a tea party with him.
but
Okay.
well, before we do a tea party,
The
what about this
occluded
occluded
one.
one?
Well, they're all over the place. They have little temples and shrines in most major cities. It's getting very popular for a cult.
How long
People-
have they been operating? When did you first hear of them?
You know, that's strange. I don't think I know for sure. It feels like they've always been here.
Interesting.
But they're very noticeable now. Always shouting
Yeah.
about the end of the world. How their god is the only one that can see the path through it. Blah, blah, blah. It's very,
Path.
very strange when you consider the fact there are some more gods than you can count on all your fingers and toes, and only this one is the one paying attention. I'm
Huh.
skeptical, especially considering how much money they're raking in. Very
Do-
convenient.
Do you know if there's like a main temple or anything like that, or they just kind of operate wherever they can?
You know, I don't pay that much attention to religion,
That's
to be
fair.
perfectly honest. I do pay attention to people raking in money. And I do know they're doing that. If you want me to find out, I could. You could also just ask them. They're very open about their business. Maybe too open. Don't give them your address.
Florin's gonna look at Sturge and say, "What do you want to do? How do you want to handle that?"
I don't know. I need to think about this.
Okay. We might come back and ask for possibly some more information transaction.
Are you saying you know
Of
where?
course, pop it if you survive.
Are you saying you know where they're based?
I don't know.
No.
But she might be able to find
I
out.
don't really care. And I'm telling you, the easiest way is probably to ask them.
Mm.
They'll charge you 50 gold pieces to go on a pilgrimage or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe 100, and they'll give you a map.
All right. No, I prefer anonymity at the moment.
Okay.
Again, a very wise friend you have, Florin.
Hmm.
You know, I got nothing. Well, thank you, Cochin, for this information. Somehow it was worse than I expected, so that's great.
Well, again, I hope you survive.
Me too. Hope you have fun with Martin and whatever's going on there. So,
Well,
I think
I'll
we're gonna
have
head out.
fun, that's for sure.
And I think after that, I'm gonna start heading out.
All right. Do you go back to the tower?
Unless Sturge wants to do anything else.
I do not.
Okay. So you go back to the tower, Strong and Artemisia. I am assuming you are here. What are you guys doing to kill time?
Boy.
You playing with Mitzi? Are you
That's right.
organizing a closet? Are you composing a new song? Are you writing in a journal about all the ways that your shadow has impacted you mentally? Or
Actually,
tracking on a map where you might be?
That's a great one. Because I was like, well, the wolf always likes to run around, but the wolf got to sleep last night, so she's happy. But like, Artemisia hasn't made any lists in like forever, so she's gonna make a list of things that she is thinking, which is different than writing down your thoughts. It is a list of things that she is thinking.
Not indulgent, it's productive.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Stong is posing like a friendship montage. Like he's like, oh man, I really want to become best friends with Cecilia's shadow self, Ilya, also. So like, what sort of friendship montage of activities can I offer him in order to, bond with this dude?
That is a good question.
Oh, I've got some ideas. Don't you worry.
All right, let's hear
Whenever
it.
it happens. Oh no, when it happens.
Oh, you're thinking of it. Got it.
Yeah.
I thought you were trying to impose it. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I'll roll to see whether he likes it or if he's like, get out of my space. All right, so you guys return. Are you gonna tell him what went down? Did you tell him the telepathic bond?
Who are you talking about?
Florin
Us?
and Sturge, you found out where you gotta go next.
Oh yeah. I would be waiting.
Florin in the shadow.
I would be waiting until we get back to the tower. But once we're there and around everyone else, I would say, hey, so we got to go to Waterdeep from my shadow.
Oh,
That makes
it does. That's not all. Go ahead with the rest.
Cochin was following my shadow's trail, and it ended with the Xanathar.
Would Artemisia know what that is?
At a glance, no.
Mhm.
I don't think it is in sort of your obvious knowledge set. You've never been to Waterdeep, to my knowledge, before now, and you are not involved in the criminal underworld. So that is some gobbledygook. Stong, you are more widely read and knowledgeable, and if you would like to make a history check.
Sure. I think we also met Mehen at one point.
Why did you meet Mehen?
Didn't we meet? Oh no, sorry, not Mehen.
Manshoon?
Manshoon. Yeah.
You did meet Manshoon. I don't think Manshoon ever discussed the Xanathar with you.
Oh, he's Shintaram, right? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Okay, okay.
Shintaram. Yeah, if it was Shintaram, you'd all be like, ah, crap.
I can't tell you all after playing Baldur's Gate 3 for 80 hours how happy I am to be in a group of people saying Zhentarim and not Zentrum.
Say,
They
oh, I
keep
don't
saying
like
it
it.
Zentrum, and every time
I
I was
don't
just
like
like,
it.
why are you hurting me?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I accidentally rolled history 3 times, but 24 was the first roll.
Okay. That name is distinctive, and it is something that is sort of outside of your normal sphere of knowledge, but you feel like it's a beholder word. And you feel like you have heard of this in the terms of some kind of criminals. Yeah, you think there is some kind of criminal gang, and it is somehow related to beholders. And that's that is a good role, but it is sort of like knowledge fairly out of your sphere. So that is what I'll tell you.
I'm assuming Florin would have a pretty good knowledge of who that is.
Yeah, I feel like if you're a Harper in Waterdeep, you know
Yeah.
who the Xanathar is
Yeah,
and,
Florin
and what
would say
what it's doing.
the Xanathar is a beholder. It's not always the same beholder, but it is a beholder. And it runs the Xanathar Guild, which is a thief group operated outside of Skullport underneath Waterdeep. The thing is, and I haven't really thought about this for other people in the Forgotten Realms, but the Xanathar embellishes a lot. Like, he's got a pet goldfish that that is his pride and joy, and I'm terrified to know if he has a giant goldfish monster in this world.
Hmm.
And
Hang on,
your
guys, I gotta make a note really fast.
If I roll initiative against Silgar, that's gonna be the best day of my life. But yeah, he'll say it's not great. That's pretty bad news. If my shadow is operating with the Xanathar Guild, that could be very problematic.
Oh, I was gonna
yeah.
ask you if your shadow had just run afoul of them, but working
I mean,
together.
I hate to say it, but that's the best hope right now.
So it seems to me that if this guild does business, and why couldn't you just have a meeting with the Xanathar? Is it just so murderous and chaotic that?
Have you met a beholder?
No.
Okay, yeah, they don't really operate on that sort of logic. Getting in our world, getting to the Xanathar, you either snuck in or you did something really bad against them. But
So
I don't know about this world. So yeah, I mean, you and I sneak. That's fine, whatever. But we're gonna have to figure out where within the guild I am.
Maybe Ilya would have an insight into this world's Xanathar.
I mean, maybe. I think Ilya's been here in Westgate for most of his life, so.
Yeah, that's true. Do we have allies in Waterdeep?
I mean, oh no.
Well, there is.
What? Who?
Oh no, I'm just
Lord
realizing that there's a
Amatile
good chance that Viscaris is in Waterdeep, and I may or may not have been using his name very liberally while we're here.
He's been getting a lot of spam mail from a certain code.
He's gonna start getting messengers from the occluded one, like, well, I didn't sign up for this. So
You do know that the Xanathar, you have the Harpers have a sense of where the Xanathar's lair might be, but your best knowledge is that it is somehow connected to Skullport.
yeah.
So theoretically, you can sidestep Viscaris by going straight to Skullport,
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
can seek out Viscaris. Up to you.
Are you afraid of Viscaris otherwise? I mean,
No, I mean, I don't know what he's like here. So there's that level of unknown, but the thing that I'm thinking is that while I'm fairly certain that because Cochin said so, that the Xanathar Guild is still operating out of Skullport, going in there without any prior information isn't really how I operate, and so getting some information ahead of time about who my shadow is and what he does within the guild before going in there might be to our advantage.
Well, Artemisia and I.
Oh,
we-
also apparently Harpers don't exist in this universe, which makes sense
Oh,
because we're
wow.
always lying about everything. So
What were you saying, Stong?
Well, it may not be the most reliable source of information, but Artemisia and I did meet a diviner in the marketplace. Perhaps we could glean at least a clue from that.
If we have enough money to replace her,
You did replace her crystal ball.
but if we break it again, pay again.
There's
She's gonna ask for a
that.
down payment at a time.
Yeah. I will say you make me an insight check.
18.
She was real mad. You might want to find a fresh diviner if that's a possibility. But you know, giving.
But
So
my worry though is that we're gonna pay this person. They're gonna be like, ah, yes, he's in Waterdeep.
Maybe we offer only to pay if they could give us more info than we currently have.
I don't think that's how people operating in that way will go about that.
so Ilya comes in. He's like, "I hear you say Waterdeep. Is that where
Yeah.
you're going now?
Yep.
Apparently.
Okay, you want me to water out the circle or what?
So you can take us there in the circle.
Yeah,
without
that's
worrying?
fine.
Okay.
The thing with Aglaron is that they're all, like I said, they're all very prissy wizards. And what happens? You embarrass them, then they all show up, and then we have to scramble. They have to count between the scrying and the teleportation so that you don't get murdered. You're welcome. So, yeah, but with Waterdeep, yeah, most people in Waterdeep are just randoms.
What-
Can we
piss
get
off
one
a
of
wizard.
those teleportation bands again anyway?
Oh, yeah, sure. And he checks his pockets. Then he pulls out one. He's like, okay, so this one?
Oh, thank you.
You're still you. Okay. Okay. Do you know where you want to go in Waterdeep?
Skullport?
So fast.
Guess we're just
Skullport?
going now.
Skullport.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I'm like, are we sure we want to do this now? Or I mean it is our best lead on another shadow, but do we want to do anything else here in Westgate before?
Stong shoots a glance at Artemisia, and then he's like, well, I think we should at least stay one more night. You know, no sense throwing ourselves into peril over and over and over.
Sturge says, and yes, perhaps it wouldn't hurt to splurge a little on a fine inn, rooms in a fine inn where we could have more privacy and, you know.
I told you there's 2 guest rooms. I don't know why you guys are bonking in there like a bunch of like hunting dogs.
Did you say
Or
bonking?
pets. No, banking. Banking.
Bonking. Ah,
Banking.
yes.
What are you saying?
No, it's nothing. Bonking. So,
Well, I mean, if we're gonna get a nice inn, maybe we should get a nice inn in Waterdeep.
That
Get
is
our
also
feet
an
on the
option.
ground.
They do have those, I hear. I never been. It sounds like a nice place.
One thing about this fellow, this shadow, he was followed outside of the Xanathar's lair. That seems to suggest that this person goes out and back and forth, maybe as a messenger, as a.
So just to clarify what Coach
Oh,
said,
yeah.
her information stops at the Xanathar.
Oh God!
So it isn't that she's seen Florin, it's that basically all roads lead to the Xanathar, and after that she's not sure.
So for all we know, the shadow could be a captive of the Xanathar, or
Yeah,
an acquaintance of, or
Yeah.
whatever. We don't know.
food. I don't know, did you ever lie about being the Xanathar's lunch?
Not to my memory.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
no. Did you ever lie about being one of the Xanathar's guild members in one of your Harper escapades?
I've lied about my identity lots of times.
Oh,
But-
Florin. But it has to be the greatest.
Yeah, the biggest.
So,
Like-
Lauren, is there a greatest lie that's in your head? And please don't worry about matching anything I've done, because I'm prepared here.
Florin's gonna say, no, yeah, there was, I did have a persona in the Xanathar Guild, and it wasn't great. It worked. It wasn't great because I liked it.
You liked
I
being...
liked being the bad guy.
Oh, interesting. So we're going to meet douchebag Florin.
There's a chance. It's been something I've been concerned about the whole time we were here.
I think we must all be concerned about that. With
I'm sure that you all can relate. But yeah, there's a chance that this is, I mean, it could just take it that it was the lie that I was part of the Xanathar Guild, and that's all it is. But it could take it and that I'm something worse.
Maybe you were the goldfish.
I was the goldfish the whole time.
like a little Florin Ponyo.
No, my millennial brain went straight to Invader Zim. I was in the goldfish the whole time. So yeah, there's a.
Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry about all that, or congratulations. I got confused in the middle. Do you want to go to Waterdeep or Scalpel?
Yes, it sounds like we're going to go to Waterdeep. Let's.
Okay, great. Okay,
nice
so
district.
there's no nice districts in Skullport.
No, not Skullport. We're gonna go to Waterdeep proper.
What happened to Skullport? I thought this was the plan.
Well, okay, but yeah, if we just go into Skullport and we're just 4 randos that teleport into there, you know, we don't have any information that we're working up. We go into Waterdeep.
Are you like some kind of a, I mean, man, I don't know your business. You're very cagey about stuff, but you seem like you like asking questions.
Yeah.
I just kind of assume you go and you ask some questions. You can ask questions in the fancy district.
I mean, I wasn't planning on staying
Or
there.
are you guys casting aspersions on my guest beds?
No, never.
No. Why'd you just get us to Waterdeep? We will figure it out from there.
Fine, okay, stand on a circle.
I think as we're walking to there, I think Stong's gonna try to walk next to Artemisia and then sort of whisper like, "Did the thing get made?"
Well, I thought we'd probably have to pick it up when we're back after this.
Okay, I see.
Ilya did say it was going to take 2 weeks, and maybe he could be a little faster if you paid him extra.
Yeah,
but it's not.
Got it.
It's not.
I missed that part. That's why I was trying to give us an extra night. But okay, now I get it.
Okay.
Got it. Yes, it will take longer than that. You will unfortunately be without. Okay. I'm gonna roll this die. If it's high, you're gonna end up in a lovely area of Waterdeep. If it's low, that conversation ends you in Skullport.
I love it.
Okay.
This is my favorite thing.
This, by the way, is my lovely Norse Foundry dice in the Wild Hunt
Ooh.
design. With the bonus, it's too tiny to see probably, but the Dungeon Scrawler's Dragon Quill on the 20.
Hey, that's cool.
All right. So the teleportation circle erupts around you, and you find yourself standing in the castle ward. It's a very lovely area of Waterdeep.
God.
It is backwards, Florin, from what you're familiar with. You recognize a couple of the buildings around you, and they're wrong. It kind of does make your brain flip. You suddenly understand why everybody felt so weird when you got to Westgate.
It's like, are we on the opposite coast?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that is, I think
The
that's
water is on the wrong side.
Oh, funky.
Does the sun still set over the water?
The sun still set over the water. Ooh, that's a good question, because the sun would be backwards. Yeah, let's say the sun goes backwards too.
Yeah,
Real messy.
Yeah, no, gets there, instant just discombobulation. Just is like, Okay. That's over. Okay. Okay.
Now you come out in like an alley between two buildings, so you're not extremely flashy with your teleportation magic.
Yeah, we go Terminator style.
Yeah. So your plan now is to find an inn and figure out how to work out a plan for getting to the Xanathar.
Yep.
Okay.
I brought up inns
bring
and
up
water deep, and
inns
there's
and- oh,
so many.
Bless you.
There's so many.
Pick the one with the best name.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you know what? In this
Castle Ward.
version of Waterdeep, it is a paragon of hospitality.
Let's stay at the Pampered Traveler.
Hmm.
Oh wait, Yawning Portal is an option, and in the
It's in the castle.
Oh,
Ward.
Castle Ward. Yeah.
All right, go to the Yawning
Let's go to
Portal.
the
Yawning
Yawning Portal.
portal. All right.
Let's go.
Nice.
Classic. Okay, but here's the thing. If I mess up the Yawning Portal, people are going to have a pain.
It's
So let
the
me
other.
just-
Who
Let me
knows?
just
You
pull
know,
it up.
this is a different
That's
world.
true. I feel like Durnan still has to work in the Yawning Portal, though.
But he's like the most friendly guy.
Oh, yeah, he's so charming. Yeah. So you enter this tavern, which is bright and warm and full of people. And there is a sort of huge like circle in the middle of the floor with a kind of a wall around it. And Florin, already having been here, you know what that is, but the rest of you, as you pass, realize it is an enormous well that goes down into the ground. Yeah, there's lots and lots of tables. There is a bar that has several barkeepers behind it, one of whom is a gentleman with prodigious forearms and impressive mustaches. There's also, let's say there's a female half-orc back there, and also a female dwarf standing on a stool, pulling ales like a champ, just like.
Oh, I am gonna just before we go in there, when we got into the alleyway, I was gonna use disguise self to make myself
okay.
just not look like me.
This is another question. You have the mask with you, and who has it?
I mean, that's the thing. I can use disguise self at will.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Someone else is carrying the mask with the ability to whip it on as needed. I just want to know who's got it.
Well,
Artemisia, you had it last, so if you didn't
Yeah.
pass it off to anybody, you've still got it.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think she would think to unless somebody asked for it. So
No, I got disguise self too.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
some polymorphs. I'm good.
So,
You-
Florin, what do you look like?
I mean,
Doing the Viscaris ruse?
no, I'm not doing the he's not that dumb. He's not that dumb. He's I honestly just think like the plainest white bread dude. Just like I am the Wonder Bread of adventurer. Nondescript, vanishes in a crowd, just
Just a regular guy.
yeah. You in Baldur's Gate 3, you make a character, go to human fighter, that's me.
Okay. So, anybody else doing any kind of weird things with their appearance?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm just going to be myself, but I'm going to do a disguise self that makes my nose like small.
Fair.
So
You caught yourself from normal. I like that.
yeah.
You're learning from the Soonites. Maybe not. Maybe you had that in you all along. Okay.
definitely.
So what do you want to do? You just want to grab a table? Do you want to go see if there's a room?
Yeah, I think Florin will go over after. I just imagine that we're walking in and there's the well and Sturge is looking over it and Florin just puts a hand on his shoulder and goes, you don't want to do that. And then goes over to Durnan, acting as if he's never met him before, and wants to get a room for the night.
All right. He quotes you the price for a room, which is not a ridiculous price, and I'm not going to look it up right now. So, how many you want?
Oh, is there a room big enough for 4?
I think we ought to spread out a bit if that's possible.
I'm going to roll a d4, and that's how many rooms he's got.
I like it.
There are 4 rooms. How fortunate.
Heyo.
Norse Foundry, you're making them feel so lucky.
Stong, why don't you and I? Oh, yes. never mind. I guess that we each have a room. That's perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if
I
you
will
want
pay
to
for
be roommates, we certainly can.
Let's
Alright.
share a wall.
I'm used to
This
knocking
can be
down
accommodated.
walls.
You also can have dinner with this for just a little extra, a couple coppers extra.
Good.
You want to be fed?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, of course.
yeah. Give me double.
All right. I love it. Okay. You get each get a plate of quipper and chips with
Ooh.
Honduras sauce and Succumber sour vinegar and a big old glass of Shadow Dark Ale.
Oh my god. I know all this is
I-
fake, but I'm salivating.
I know, it's so good. I also just realized that I'm like, I've run so many like start of an adventure in Yawning Portal. I'm like, oh wait, it's flipped. And I flipped it in my head and I went, oh nope, I hate this.
Yeah, Florin, I forget if I made you guys roll some kind of like save for like disorientation, but it is very distracting how much everything is in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
Florin's the only one that's been here.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are like, this place seems nice.
Well,
Although
and
with
when the-
Artemisia, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say when the food comes, she's gonna eat with her fingers for like a
Ooh.
while, and then she's gonna be like, "This is kind of messy," and then she's gonna
Yeah,
go
it's
back to
great.
utensils.
What? Why is she doing that? Why is she using her fingers? Stone, why is she using her fingers?
I
Can she
mean,
hear this?
Maybe.
Should I roll to hear if you're enough under your breath?
I guess he's kind of wants to ask her too. Why are you using your fingers? Is that the custom here?
Do
It is like fish and chips, basically. Quipper are kind of fish. So it is a very normal thing to eat with your hands.
Yeah. Sir, why are you
But-
using your fingers? And Florin's just like,
It is just the case that you know Artemisia, and she is very tidy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
I
Sturge
don't think you've
uses
seen her
his
like pick up
fork and
anything
knife.
other than like a piece of toast in her life.
Oh yeah, a piece of celery maybe.
I love this difference between the sisters because I feel like I could imagine Artemisia eating fries with a fork.
Yeah.
I can imagine Cecilia picking up a basket of fries and eating it like it's soup.
So Sturge actually has in the real world, he retired to a penthouse in Waterdeep.
What?
Which-
Oh, wait, when?
Yeah. Oh, do we
I
not?
thought that's what you wanted to
He
do.
did,
You
he
hadn't
did,
done
but
it yet.
I thought we started there this
No,
year.
I thought you were
No, we
talking about looking
Okay,
into it.
Oh, good. Well, he's
oh,
gonna.
maybe
gonna,
this entices you.
Yeah.
Well, he was wondering if perhaps the occluded one might have already made that move because that was.
Well,
Huge.
so that was a thing. I was actually going to say I wanted to kind of take a look around the room and see if there was anyone in those sort of robes.
Mm, mm.
Okay. Actually, I need to check one thing that just occurred to me really quick before I decide on this. So talk amongst yourselves for a second.
I'll be honest, it is so hard for me not to be asking questions about any other famous D&D character in here and how different they would be, but I'm not throwing that on Aaron.
Yeah, I have so many yawning portal shenanigans I want to pull, but
I
I'd be
know!
so good.
So you all know all
I
about this.
appreciate it.
All I
Yeah,
know
it's
is
a
it's
very
a big hole in
famous
a.
tavern.
One of my one of the first times I ran D&D for my nephews, I started them off in the Yawning Portal with Minsk, and they just absolutely lost their little minds.
So I'm familiar with the Mad Mage.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay, I listened to a podcast doing
there's
that.
a reason Florin said, "Don't go down there."
The Mad Mage part seemed kind of like classic D&D,
Yeah.
dungeon crawl. But is that what you get when you go down the hole, or
Oh
is
yeah,
it
that's
basically?
how you get to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Mega
built on top of Undermountain, and one of the things, at least in the real world, you have not asked Durnan how
Yeah.
this works here, and I just want to say that every time you encounter
Mhm.
something, just in case, they charge a fee to ride the bucket down into Undermountain to adventurers, so you can pay a little bit, not have to climb down yourself, and go down and work your
Okay.
way through.
And you can get off at different levels.
Well, you only get off this from
Yeah,
here.
there's
You
a-
only get to the first level.
Yeah.
Oh.
There are other ways to get into deeper parts. In fact, if you go to Skullport, I believe that you can come in on the third level
Yep.
of Undermountain. But so there is beneath this, at least in your world, this elaborate dungeon fortress deep into the earth, dug by Halaster Blackcloak.
AKA Alabaster Booty Clap.
I-
And
Oh,
You
it's
know
that.
what? Canon now is that's Halaster Blackcloak's shadow because I said so.
I want you to know that joke
don't
has
know what
gone
it
so
is.
far. My D&D group made that joke without me inciting it.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but yeah,
see.
I feel like Florin would have explained this at the table if Sturge had asked and be like, and I'm very hesitant to tell you this because it seems like something you would want to check out, but let's save that for another adventure.
Mhm.
Florin, you do
Interesting.
know that you can theoretically go down there to get to Skullport, but you seem to be wisely not mentioning this to Sturge.
I know there's other ways to get into Skullport.
This is accurate.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. So you are going to look around the room for people who might be in the Cult of the Occluded One. Anything else that you're looking for as you were?
I mean, I
doing
guess
a
like also
peruse.
just like a constant scanning for myself, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I think Ston just wants to look around and see if anyone's looking at us.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. So investigation I'm going to give you for finding sketchy looking people. And for people who are looking at you, I'm going to say do perception. Can you feel their eyes on you?
Whoa, nat 20, 24.
All right.
Nice.
I got a 19 for insight.
Okay. Was investigation.
Oh, is investigation? Oh, that's much different. That's a 12.
That's a
Ooh.
12. Okay. So in searching around, you do not see anyone who looks quite like the quote unquote weirdos in the market, or displaying any of the signs of the occluded one, but it is rather busy here. So
Okay.
you're not sure. That doesn't necessarily tell you they aren't here. You also know Waterdeep is a really big city. So possibly they operate somewhere else.
Okay.
Okay. And Stong, looking around for people who are looking at you, you notice a couple of things. One, it is true, you guys walk in, and even with Florin being the most like invisible guy ever, you're drawing some attention. People can tell that you're an extraordinary looking group, right? Sturge is very unique. You are huge and your hair is magnificent. And Artemisia did not specify that she was telekinesising in, but in my headcanon, she absolutely
Casually telekinesis again every
yeah. Okay. But she's still a very lovely young woman who also has dragon scales. You're not total like oddballs in this room, but you look like adventurers. So you're gathering a lot of sort of sidelong glances, like, are you going in? Are you going in? Which you may not be able to interpret unless I guess Florin explained the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they do seem to sort of be watching for that. But you also see at a table, probably like fairly far across the room, far enough that it sort of strikes you that this man is looking at you because he's not like right next to you. It's not like you just did something and he's like, what? He's watching you, and he doesn't seem to care that you noticed. There is an extremely handsome human man with kind of dark blonde hair that kind of curls to his collar, wearing black leather. He's got a beer in front of him, and he's just kind of watching you guys.
Stalin wants to lean over, like still looking at this guy. Stalin wants to lean over to Artemisia, tap her on the shoulder, and say, Artemisia, you've got a good way with guys. What do you think that one over there wants from us? He's been staring at us since we came in.
Did you say that loud enough for the rest of us to hear?
Mm-hmm.
Dog
Florin's-
doesn't really whisper great. I don't.
I
think.
just figured I'd check.
That's fair.
Florin's gonna lean over and just go, it just occurred to me that anyone in here might not exist in our world.
I'm
Oh,
yes.
shite. You
Yeah.
think it's a grasshopper demon.
Yeah, it could
Oh
be.
God.
I'm not saying that we act as if that
Don't
is
like
the
this.
situation, but we keep that in our minds.
Oh, Stormcast True Sight on Sturge.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
thank you.
Nice.
All right. Surge, when you look at the man, that has been pointed out to you. There's definitely, by the way, a lot of people rocking some alter self things on in here.
The room is suddenly way less attractive.
That man is not human. That man has bright red skin and horns and
No.
wings.
No.
And what?
And
Wings.
Wings.
Yeah.
Okay, now Florin doesn't have wings.
I don't know.
Florin doesn't have wings.
I'd
Does
love
it look like
Florin.
Florin?
Does it
It doesn't
remind
look
him?
like Florin. It doesn't look like Florin like that's his double.
Okay. Okay.
Do you say that that man is red with horns and wings?
I say
Yeah.
okay.
Oh,
I'm
does he
gonna
say that?
I'm gonna cover my mouth. So.
Oh, we have telepathic link also.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay, so I'm just gonna let him know. Yeah. Is he like a naked? Is he like naked like demons or devils sometimes
He's
are?
wearing clothes.
Okay,
He's
so
wearing clothes.
he's because I
the
imagine.
armor is like very open in the front. He has
Oh,
very
you
nice
said-
musculature.
Okay,
But
so
he's still wearing leather armor. Like it's not an illusion. That's his clothes.
Florin's gonna ask Sturge over the telepathic link, what color
Mhm.
is his hair?
what color?
So in the true sight, he has black hair.
Black. What kind
Does
of
this look
horns?
like a tiefling or does this look like a Cambion?
Does Sturge know the difference?
That's a good question.
Don't know. Have we ever met a Cambion? I mean, we've met tieflings.
Did we see one outside of man? I'm blanking
It's
on
a
the name of the
3-year
palace.
long campaign.
I
Yeah.
know.
Sturge, check your memory. You can check insight or history.
Let's go with insight. 17.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you saw Cambions. Maybe you saw Cambions in Asocrat? And
That's
you
what I
feel
was
like you
thinking.
might have seen them. Like, or at least you've read about them. Like, cause okay, all that stuff with Lilton and Fane. Maybe you also kind of went looking about what this
Mhm.
business is. What's a fairy?
She has
What's
wings, right?
that?
Fane?
Yeah,
Doesn't she? Yeah.
Fane's something different, right? A Cambion is the offspring of a devil and like a mortal, a human or a tiefling or whoever was desperate enough to go with the devil.
Well, I'm sorry, but isn't that what a tiefling is?
No. A tiefling is more dilute. If a Cambion has a
Oh.
child with a
Oh.
human or something
First generation.
mortal, that's
Like,
a tiefling.
Oh, no, wait. First generation is like, it's like 50% devil, 50% mortal. Tieflings more like
Tiefling is
10.
below that. And and you're not really 100% sure how that works. It seems rude to ask, but you think that's one of those things that sort of like sticks. Like you get to tieflings, it sort of stays tiefling-y, except sometimes it seems like maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, well, so, I mean, the tiefling that we're traveling with clearly is diluted enough that they don't have wings.
Yeah, he doesn't have wings.
And so
He's got red skin, white hair, horns, tail.
is there beef between Cambions and tieflings or no?
Mm. Not that you know. Not for
so-
a 17, you don't know.
I guess
A 17 and no background in infernal politics besides stepping in it with Glasia. I don't think you know
okay.
about that particular thing. But you do know like Cambions can be the parents of tieflings. They might I don't know. Sturge was interested in a warlock pact at one point. How much
Yeah.
did he dig into that?
He was trying to hook up with Halal.
Oh, you had one specific goal
Yeah,
there. Okay,
yeah.
so
One specific
yeah,
pact.
So yeah, and all he got was disagreeable possibilities. Like I think that the dude in who is that awful archer fellow who
yeah, the one that hates Drow.
yeah
I forget his name. That elf god.
not his
That
thing.
elf god.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
all right. So, I describe him as best I can. I cannot say, Florin, whether this is a cambion or not, but it's got wings still.
There
and-
are other fiends that can have wings and look vaguely humanish. You guys did meet a bunch of like succubi, incubi in
That's my
in
first thought.
Azagrat,
That was
so
my first thought.
he
Yeah.
doesn't look wildly different from that.
But is he super hot?
He's-
Like a
He's very hot.
Could be a succubus.
Okay, after Serge gives me that description, for this first time, Florin is going to look over at this person specifically to see if this person is looking directly at him.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't seem like it is. It seems like he's if you had to pick, he's looking kind of at the other side of the table where Stong and Artemisia are. But he's not looking at you. He sort of seems to be taking in the whole group.
So
But he
Artemisia's
sees you.
going to do like a bit of a little test, and she's going to sort of be like, "Oh, I gotta," and see if his eyes go there.
Let's check. He doesn't look down. He does notice you guys, and he picks up his beer and he kind of toasts you, takes a little sip and sets it down, and he sort of turns away.
Okay.
How do
Interesting.
we? So through the psychic link, Stong wants to say like, how do we recognize whether someone's an agent of the Xanathar or not?
I mean, you generally don't, unless they got a eye stalk sticking out of their forehead.
There's not like a mark or some sort of.
Not generally. They do occasionally have insignia, but they wouldn't have it out right now.
I could just go flirt with him.
Talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're okay with doing that, my other idea was just me walking up to him, but if you want to try it.
Oh,
Who
let's
wants
all
your-
go up to him.
I think
I
that's
mean,
not a great idea right now, if I'm being
that's a
completely
lot.
honest. Yep.
Okay, but the DM is like, no, but do it.
I mean, it's Stong knows Infernal, and it's been a long time.
I mean, I know Infernal.
Wants to practice his language skills.
Interesting. Well,
I'll keep you updated through the bond.
oh, yeah, we've got the telepathic link.
So she's gonna snag her drink, probably
Okay.
a wine glass.
It's only beer right here.
I mean, Stong could turn into a flea and like just be on your shoulder.
People might notice though.
Yeah, I feel like that would be. Yeah, I think that would
She's
be.
got fleas.
Giant half orc suddenly vanishing. Feels like it might catch a little bit of notice.
Yeah.
Jump in the pit and then do it.
Yes.
Don't listen to me. Okay.
So she'll stroll up, fairly casual, and say, "Hello, I noticed your attention. Thought I'd come introduce myself. I happen to be Avena.
Avena,
Happen to be.
you're new to Waterdeep, aren't you?
How could you tell? Of course I am. Are you an
Adventurers
old
have a look.
regular?
I've been here a while. Family matters.
Mm.
So, you want to join me?
Of course. Down.
Is he sitting with anyone or is he all alone?
He's all alone.
Okay.
So, what brings you to the City of Splendors, Avena?
Not quite family, but one of my friends, and she's gonna gesture behind her because obviously, like, it was clear they were together. Looking for someone he knows. We're gonna put out some feelers. I don't know if someone was looking for someone in this town. I don't know if you might know who to talk to.
Well, I do know a lot of people. Let's be frank, darling. Is it your friend the half-orc?
No, but
Question. Is Stong in half orc form or did he turn into something else?
I don't think he turned into anything. I
No,
think you posited the
I
flu
was the
plan.
only one.
Came
Yeah.
in normally.
It just stopped.
Okay. Okay.
It's all right. Maybe you don't know. We might just have mutual acquaintances. So if it's not the half-orc, who are you going to tell me you want help for? Is it you? Are you your own friend, Vivenna?
Well, I'm certainly self-care is important to me, but no. She's gonna ask for the bond. Florin, do you have some alias you want to use?
Oof. I can't think of a name right now, but
Well,
it'd
she'll
just
sort
be
of
not
lie.
Viscaris.
She'll lie past that. So she'll say, well, so I understand how these things work. It's gonna have a cost. So,
Oh. Do you want to make a deal with a cost?
not particularly, but I understand sometimes it's unavoidable.
You're not really my type.
Hmm.
What is your type?
Well, I like things neat and orderly. I like things that fit into patterns. Looks a little more polished, less slapdash. I haven't really done much collecting lately. Other work. Family, as I mentioned.
Hmm.
You're a sorcerer, aren't you?
I am.
You like it?
Oh boy. I think she can sort of see where this is going.
The limitations of your own self
Hmm.
for all your magic?
Hmm.
I bet it makes you feel powerful, though.
See, I've seen where that sort of transaction can lead, and for family it was very good, but not for me.
Interesting, interesting. So, you're not looking for a patron. You're not looking for a assistant for your friend over there. So, darling, what are we talking about?
I have a name,
All right.
Florin Morin. You
What
heard
do
of
you
him?
want with Florin Morn?
He's got a friend. Doesn't know he's got a friend, but he does. He wants to meet him.
Well, I can tell you, Florin Morn has a lot of friends who would like to meet him. Why is this one gonna be different?
Hmm.
Well, maybe you could put us in contact and we could explain ourselves.
It's so refreshing. The naivete. What exactly do you think you can tell Florin Morn that will justify interrupting his piece?
Was your cover like really high ranked?
Maybe.
Hmm.
We could tell through the psychic links, Tong thinks, we could tell him that we know of a threat to him or some people that are coming for him.
That would involve deception. That would be Cecilia's strength. I don't know, Artemisia, if that's yours.
Do you want me over there?
I think at this point, like, there in the bond, she's gonna be like, I could do it if I. And meanwhile, she's like, oh well, you maybe we should speak all together about this.
Yeah, Florin will stand up, cross the room, walk just at a normal pace over there, take one of the chairs and sit down, and say, Florin Morn is in danger and we have information to help him.
The man turns to you. He looks you up and down. Yeah, check something really quick.
Ready for a deception check if I need to.
He's like, you want me? Okay. You want me to trust this information you've given me that I'm going to then bring to Florin Morn, the Florin Morn, and you can't even show me your actual face.
Hmm.
I think at this point, Stoggs also walked over, and he like wants to stand like he goes up like behind into the side of real Florin, and he crosses his arms, and he looks over at the guy, and he then turns and shows him the mark on the back of his neck, and he says, "You know, maybe we're on the same side."
Interesting. He pulls a pendant out from the folds, sort of the tuck of his armor. It is a 9-tailed scourge that doesn't look exactly. Your mark is very angular, but it is the same thing.
Ooh.
So, is this a request from above?
Oh, no. We're just pursuing a lead.
Hmm.
I feel, my friends, that you think I'm an idiot.
Oh, absolutely not.
But you are a hypocrite not showing your own face. Just say.
Sturge, where'd you come from?
Okay, so
Oh,
It's Sturge.
It's like imagining Sturge is standing by this guy the whole time.
I thought we all went over.
Yeah, I assume that.
I still like
I
the
didn't
idea
realize
that the fact that you didn't you stand still and you disappear.
Just can't help it.
He's like, all right, you know what? Cards on the table. I think this will be interesting at least. You know, he points at Stog. Whatever happens here, I'm gonna have to tell her if she asks.
I assumed that was always the case.
Well, fortunately, you all look like capable, if moderately sketchy characters. I'm pretty sure our friend can defend himself. So, I can take you there.
Hmm.
Plus, if it turns out you're up to something, well, you'll be in the middle of the Xanathar's lair. So,
There's
we
that.
can all win.
Hmm.
And what is your name?
My name. He holds out a hand. He says, you can call me Lorcan. Oh,
Lorcan.
and what a wonderful moment to end this.
I should have known
Okay.
it from the armor. and the-
I've been your DM, Erin M. Evans. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Erin M. Evans. You can listen to my podcast with Trevor Bettis and B. Dave Walters, writing about dragons and shit every week, new episodes. You can join me on this channel for Concentration Check, co-writing a space with Yang Yang. We can get some work done together, guys, every Monday at 1:30 p.m. Pacific. You can pick up my books, Empire of Exiles, a pseudo-locked room mystery in an epic fantasy world, and pre-order Relics of Ruin, the sequel, lots of spooky skeletons and complex found family. And if you enjoyed our little reveal there and you don't know why it was exciting, you can check out the Brimstone Angels saga, available on ebook and audiobook, because I'm in charge and I can do stuff like that. And also, while you're looking stuff up, check out our sponsor, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms at idlechampions.com.
Hey, I've been Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy under Rhiannon Held and space opera under RZ Held. The space opera series is a series of novellas, so if you'd like a shorter try of my work, check one of those out. It's got nanites and galactic empires and Starkey AI and all kinds of cool stuff. I also play on the Dungeon Scrollers channel on Mondays in the Isekai Realms game. I play me among other people playing themselves in the Forgotten Realms. It's very interesting. I also am part of the Speculate SF channel Court of Blades Valward game that is going to be starting back up again in October. We are busy scheduling that. So check that out. And also join our Discord, because it is a little squishy because we are recording in this in the past and it will be played in the future. But I believe next week, at the time we are playing this, I will be putting up a new story of Artemisia and Skaha, her biological mother. So sort of looking at some of those things. And so that will be posted on the Discord. So that's where you can get it if you're interested. And tonight, thank you to our moderators, whoever they may be.
Yeah, and if you want to join that Discord, type in !Discord into the chat, and it'll spit out a link for you to join. We got a great community. We chat like games, books, all the cool stuff. Also, I'm playing on D20 Deathmatch. If you love like the fun hijinks and smack talk of WWE, you can check it out in TTRPG form. So I'm playing again on October 8th.
Great. I'm Stephen Merlino, and I have been Sturge. I will be Sturge next week, too.
Stay Sturgeon.
I've been Trevor Bettis, who had terrible poker face through the end of that session. And I'm the writer of Isle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and you can find me on all of the dystopian social medias at the Trevor. There's an A hiding in there.
All right. So until next time.
May your rolls and your word count be equally high.